Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Your Turn with Cliff Woodwards right here at WHPR TV 33, Comcast 91. And as well, we're on Roku, and you can download the WHPR Now app simply by going to your app store either on Apple or the Android system. Glad to have you along with us. I think the Angels held it down quite nicely. Did they hold it down, RJ, last week? I got several calls from people over the last few days wanting to reach out to them. I have no idea what they talked about, but for some reason they must have made a significant impression because a lot of you wanted to get some further information, and I'll do that. And if there's anyone else that wanted some more information, you can call me. My number is 313-333-4975. I've always been able to give that out on the air as well. 313-333-4975. Your Turn with Cliff Woodwards, as always, is brought to you by the Detroit Law Center. For all of your legal needs, give the Detroit Law Center a call. Once again, 313-333-4975. Whether it's criminal, family, bankruptcy, or even personal injury, give the Detroit Law Center a call. As I said, I'm glad to be back here with you this Saturday. I was out of town last week. And, before we get rolling with what I want to talk about, and hopefully, in fact, let me grab something real quick because I needed to check to see if Mayor Garrett is going to be able to come by. I saw her just a few moments ago at the Michigan Democratic Black Caucus meeting just up the road over on Pitkin here in Highland Park, and hopefully she can get a chance to stop by before we go off the air. Talk about politics in 2018, what's going on out there in Lathrop Village. We also saw that Brenda Jones has thrown her hat into the ring to run for the seat in Congress formerly occupied by John Conyers. We'll talk a little bit about that today. And I also wanted to mention that we'll discuss Project Greenlight. That's something that's kind of interesting to me, and I want your thoughts on it as well. The number to call in today is 313-365-7379 if you want to participate in the discussion. Of course, it's going across the screen right there. You can see the number 313-365-7379 is the number. So make those phones light up, and I want to hear from you as well. When I was gone last week, some of you may have seen this on Facebook as well, I took a trip to Las Vegas, and then I went over to the Grand Canyon. And you in the audience might find this a little hard to believe because Las Vegas is such a popular destination spot. I had never been there before. Yeah, I'd never gotten around to it. And I went this past Saturday morning through Tuesday, and I don't know, and I want you all to call in and tell me what your thoughts are too. It's hard for me to articulate it, because you hear about the strip all this time. And so you have this idea in your mind about what the strip is. And when I got there and saw it, I don't know what I expected, but that wasn't it. It was just a regular street. It was a boulevard because, it had a median in the middle. There was a tram rail going across from one hotel to another. And it was just crowded with hotels. Now, don't get me wrong, the hotels are very opulent. I had an opportunity to go into the Wynn, the Encore, the Bellagio, Planet Hollywood. But the strip just didn't impress me like I thought. Now, inside the hotels, of course, was some of the most opulent shopping and malls that I've ever seen in my life. And of course, apparently, people who come out there have to have almost deep, if not unlimited, pockets. Take, for instance, Louis Vuitton. We've got one Louis Vuitton store here in Southeast Michigan, and it's at Somerset Mall. That's it. Just one. Las Vegas, I counted 5 Louis Vuitton stores within walking distance of each other. Within literally 2 minutes. I'm wondering who has this kind of money that 5 Louis Vuitton stores can all operate within that proximity and still be able to turn a profit. In fact, it was so crowded with Louis Vuitton stores. There was a Louis Vuitton store just for men. I went in there, had no idea at the time I was looking at this particular bag, and it had a shoulder strap, and I wasn't sure if it was for men or for women. All of y'all can jump on me if you like, because we now are living in this gender bending age. But I wanted to make sure that that bag that I saw that I was thinking about wasn't designed for a woman. And the man said, "No, this is Louis Vuitton men's store." Really? Wow. Okay. But in addition to Louis Vuitton, there were Cartier, Tory Burch, any designer you could possibly think of had multiple stores. It was really as if each hotel had their own private designer store. There's a Cartier in the Wynn. There's a Cartier in the Encore. There's a Cartier. Who has this kind of money? I guess perhaps Vegas is for the rich, because these stores cater to all of these individuals who come out. And then I enjoyed Vegas. I think I'll go back. But one of the other interesting things about it was I went looking for the cheap food that didn't exist anymore. I found that now it's really only in the locals casinos, as they call them, the ones that are way off the strip, 10 to 15 miles away from the strip or downtown. No longer can you get a $4.99 breakfast at the hotel. No longer can you get a $9.99 buffet at any of these premium hotels. They're $25, $30, almost just like here. Oh, and that's another thing that I found fascinating too, is you think of the casinos that we have, MGM, Motor City, and Greektown, soon to be renamed Jack. They check ID on anyone that looks under the age of 35 going into our local casinos here. And don't even think about letting your child come with you. Not so in Las Vegas. It has been so transformed into a family environment that they don't check ID. And your child can walk all around the casino with you. The child just has to make sure that he or she is not next to a slot machine or a gaming table. They don't even tell you what the proximity that you have to stay away from with your child. But children are allowed in the casinos to walk around through the casinos with their parents. And of course, those of you who have been there before, when I got off the plane, of course, Nevada is such a gaming state that when you get off the plane, you only have to step 15 feet before you see your first slot machine. I thought that that was so fascinating when I landed, that each gate has a circle ring of slot machines that people can play while they're waiting for their flight to depart the terminal. Then Planet Hollywood has a almost looks like an outdoor ceiling, if you would. The outdoor ceiling is incredibly breathtaking. I compared it on Facebook to the Sistine Chapel, where Michelangelo painted the breath of God, Adam, and God's finger. That, if you've never seen that, is spectacular. But having seen that some 14 years ago, Planet Hollywood's ceiling, as you're walking through its mall, is so meticulously and miraculously painted that you swear you are outdoors looking up at the sky. And I think that that surpasses the work of Michelangelo. 313-365-7379 if you'd like to give us a call. Let me know what's on your mind this evening. And something else that I didn't realize too, is how close the Grand Canyon is to Las Vegas. As I was walking outside, I happened to see a billboard that said Grand Canyon tours 2 hours. Like, oh, okay. Well, let me see if I can, on Monday, take a trip over to the Grand Canyon. Well, I did that. The tour was $79, certainly reasonable. But what dawned on me Sunday night was I didn't have a pair of shoes to go to the Grand Canyon. I had only brought dress shoes. So I went off in search of some gym shoes. I thought that that would be appropriate to, walk around the Grand Canyon. And I think we have our first caller. Let's see how. Good afternoon. You're on the air. It's your turn with Cliff Woodards.
And good afternoon to you, Mr. Woodward. I must tell you, I was anticipating seeing the Angels today, but I guess I'll go along with the program.
Really? See, that's why I can't have them come back here anymore. Everybody doesn't want to watch me anymore. They just want to see the Angels.
We want to see the Angels, brother. Bye.
You're right. How's it going? Oh, he literally called in just to say he wanted to see the Angels. See, my feelings are hurt. I'll pass that along, and perhaps I think that might be Mayor Garrett at the door. I just heard, and we'll check that out and see if she's. I just heard that is not. Well, nevertheless, we'll continue. As I was saying, I had to go buy some gym shoes for this excursion. When was the last time you guys thought about buying gym shoes? Have you shopped for gym shoes recently? I went back to Fashion Show Mall, and gym shoes were ranging in price from $110 to $180. I found some on sale for $80. I'm like, I am not about to spend more on the shoes that I did on the tour. That's insane. When did gym shoes cost more than my dress shoes? Gym shoes have supplanted dress shoes in our society. And don't let me go off on another rant about that. But nevertheless, it took me 2 hours before I found me a pair of gym shoes that were less than $50. So I take the tour, wake up Monday morning, and board the tour bus at 6:15 and make the ride out to the Grand Canyon. Now that I will do again in a heartbeat. I would rather fly back out west and go straight to the Grand Canyon instead of Las Vegas. That was essentially indescribable. You literally have to see the Grand Canyon to understand the natural beauty and wonder of that phenomenon. It's of course one of the world's greatest wonders. And we have it right here in this country. I also didn't realize that it was going to be snow in the Grand Canyon either. Gym shoes were probably the worst choice to go see the Grand Canyon in January. I shot a video. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go to my Facebook page. And I'm recording this video talking about this trail that I was walking is so slippery that I could fall or slip. And as soon as I said that, I did. One of the other interesting things about the trails in the Grand Canyon is there are no fences. There are no barriers to make sure you don't fall over. The tour guide told us en route to be careful. Guys, don't try to show that you're a hero or a macho guy to your girlfriend by standing on the rock, because less than 6 weeks ago, a 27-year-old guy fell over backwards and down into the canyon. And of course, he died. But I took the tour. Went on the trail, walked probably a good maybe 1,000 feet down. But I forgot that I had to come back up a snowy trail with gym shoes at 55, being fat. That was not a fun experience. I looked all over for elevators and I couldn't find any. So I had to walk that trail back up. But it was a great experience. Something that if you get a chance to do for your bucket list, make sure you add that and take the trip and go out there and see one of the world's great wonders that is the Grand Canyon. Let me transition now. We're moving up to 120. I want to talk a little bit about Project Greenlight because that's been in the news recently. I saw a story where a retail outlet owner of a gas station was upset because he felt that he wasn't getting the priority service that's afforded to Project Greenlight customers. And I'm quite sure that most of you know what Project Greenlight is. For those of you who do not, it is a service that is offered by the Detroit Police Department in conjunction with Comcast. It's those stores where you see the flashing green light conspicuously displayed above the door or on a sign of the particular business. It is to let people, more importantly, it is to let would-be criminals know that HD cameras are installed at that location in various places so that any criminal activity at those locations, it is easy to determine who the perpetrators are because those cameras are so high in definition that you can read license plates. You could literally read a driver's license in a person's hand. I have actually seen the video from a Project Greenlight camera in my practice at Frank Murphy where my clients were accused of some criminal activity at a Project Greenlight establishment. Now, it can cost upwards of $5,000 for the equipment and then up to $150 a month for Project Greenlight. Let me move to this call real quick. We've got another caller on the line. Good afternoon. It's your turn with Cliff Woodward. You're on the air.
What's up, Brother Cliff? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I don't really want to say anything negative about the green light, but I don't patronize those stores.
Why not?
My problem is that we're being looked on everywhere you go now. It's almost like somebody is looking up your rectum, man. It's all day, every day. I mean, where do you go where you can't be seen? You know, when I started hearing about the police are supposed to have the crime, I mean, the cameras on their uniform, they cried about that because they don't want that type of surveillance on themselves. Well, as a taxpayer resident, I don't want that type of surveillance on myself. I don't think that a few people who commit a crime, the other 98% need to be subjected to surveillance 24/7. You can't go anywhere on planet Earth now, especially in the United States, without somebody looking up your rectum 24 hours a day. I mean, you can't dig in your nose, scratch your butt or nothing without somebody taping it. You see what I'm saying? It is getting to be too much. It's the same thing when they close the schools. You got a couple of principals who stole this or stole that. They had to destroy the whole school system because a few people got caught stealing. There's no excuse to greenlight every store in the city because of crime. Everybody is now subjected to surveillance because of a few people who committed crime. I mean, just think about it. 700,000 people here, and not even 500 are criminals, but the other 700-something thousand got to be looked at all day, every day. No, I ain't for the green light program. I hope they stop it today.
Well, wait, hold on. Don't go anywhere. Hang on for a second.
Okay.
What's your name?
Kurt.
Kurt. All right. Kurt, well, and I agree with you. I'm not sure which generation you're in, but you sound like you might be in my generation. And I rant about that all the time on Facebook, that you can't conduct business in anonymity anymore. It's very difficult for you to walk into a store and make a purchase in cash because when you go into the store, can we have your phone number? Can we have your email address? Can we have your mama's maiden name? Look, I just want to give you $50 for whatever this is. Give me my change and let me go. You don't need all of this information. And, of course, there's a camera standing behind the cashier, watching the cashier and me anyway. But what is the alternative? Because I would say if you want to do what I'm saying is I want my own private island. I have said that for years. But if you have your own private island, or Kurt, if you sit in your house and transact your business online, you still have to give up some information about yourself. So It's almost like you and I are two dinosaurs who refuse to want to move into the 21st century. And unfortunately, we don't really have much of a choice.
So let me run this by you though, Cliff. I was
Sure.
sitting up here watching this flick called Zeitgeist. I don't know if you saw it or not.
It's called
I
what?
think it was Zeitgeist.
Okay.
Okay, and this guy pulled up. It's a white dude. Doesn't make any difference what color he was. I just said that because he was actually white. But this white dude pulled up to a drive-in, and he ordered a pizza with all this meat on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady who waited on him hit a few buttons and brought his name up. And from hitting those two buttons, she knew where he worked, how much money he made, who his doctor and dentist was. And she told him that if you order this pizza, you're violating this rule and that rule, and we would have to charge you this much because we would have to attach you to your insurance. In other words, this lady knew every single thing in the world about him
Mm-hmm.
from him trying to order a pizza.
Right.
All I'm saying is, man, I do not want to give up that much information, just like you just said. If I'm going to buy a pizza and it's $5, here's your $5, get my pizza, and I'm out. I do not
Right.
want you looking up my butt and all of my information. I mean, this woman had his doctors. She had his credit. She had everything there is to know about him from ordering that pizza. I said,
Exactly.
man, this
Exactly.
is real.
But I don't know how you avoid that anymore. And you're complaining. And it's interesting because you're complaining about what we're experiencing here in Detroit. Do you know that London, England, has over 600,000 cameras in London alone?
Well, you know, when you really look back on things, we brought all of this on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to use a little small example. When we created that atom bomb, I was sitting up here watching Channel 56. And after we got bombed, well, Tuskegee Airmen got bombed Germany. They went in there to get these nuclear scientists. And these nuclear scientists had taken out, and they were running in the woods, man, trying to get away from the American. The American was on foot chasing these nuclear scientists. And as they was running, they got closer to these nuclear scientists. They started screaming out to them, man, we're not trying to kill you, man. We're not trying to kill you. We want you to come work for us.
Right.
And after they got these guys, they brought them back here to America and developed that H-bomb.
Exactly.
You understand? Then they dropped it on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You understand? I said that to say that no one else had this bomb. How in the world did the rest of the world get the bomb? You see what I'm saying? I know we got spies and all that, but what I'm saying is you brought this on yourself because you wanted to dig into being the most powerful people on the planet. They have the biggest bomb. And once you got it, now the whole world is armed with the nuclear bomb.
Exactly.
Now here we are out in the world dictating to people who can have it and who can't have it. You can't dictate to others who can and can't have it. You don't have any business with it. If it was up to me, none of us would have it.
Okay. All right, Kurt.
No problem, brother.
Thanks a lot, brother. We appreciate hearing from you this afternoon. This is Your Turn with Cliff Woodwards. You're watching WHPR TV 33 out of Highland Park and Detroit. We're also on Comcast 91. You can watch us on Roku. Just get you a Roku device and download the WHPR Now app, or you can download that app too your cell phone, your tablet, or other mobile device as well. Just go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store and look for the WHPR Now app. Get it to your mobile device. We're going to take a quick break. We're heading towards the bottom of the hour. We'll continue this conversation here at Channel 33 when we come back. Don't go away.
What first sparked your curiosity? Drove you to learn more? to be better, to achieve things, and go places you couldn't have imagined before. At WCCCD, you can discover or rediscover your spark for learning and find your path to your best life. Want more? Start here. Register today.
Are you sick and tired of paying high cable or satellite bills? Well, guess what? Those days are over and gone. You can cut the cable bill forever. Imagine having over 1,000 live HD cable channels, including local channels, all the premium channels, every sports package including all the games and boxing, special live events, and much more. Don't miss an episode of your favorite TV series, plus get over 9,000 movies on demand. All this for about $1 a day. You heard me right, for about $1 a day. Watch it on your phone, computer, tablet, or your TV set. Take it with you on the go. No equipment or messy in-home wiring needed. Join the wave of people who are cutting the cable and taking advantage of this revolutionary TV and entertainment service. Contact us now to learn more about this amazing offer. You'll be glad you did. Welcome to the new world of television entertainment. If you could use some extra income, we're looking for individuals to help spread the word. Reach out now.
And we're back. Thank you for sticking around. If you've just joined us on the break, you're watching Your Turn with Cliff Woodwards right here at TV 33, channel TV 33, that is WHPR. We're also on Roku, and you can catch us on the app, WHPR app. Just download it from either the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Put it on your cell phone or your tablet or your other mobile device, and you can take us along with you. You don't have to sit at home and watch us on TV as well. We're continuing this conversation. We were discussing Project Greenlight and its impact on the community. And let me see if I can get this to... Are you on the air? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
There you go. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. This is Belinda.
How are you, Belinda? And thank you. I'm sure you got your reminder today, right?
I sure did, and I appreciate it. I felt so special. Okay, I'm calling about the green light. Okay, I agree with it, but I'd like to know, did they hire more people to watch this central area for the green light? Because if so, they didn't let the people in the city of Detroit know that they could apply for the jobs. But
well, Chief Craig, and let me jump in there for a minute. Chief Craig did say that, in fact, they're planning to expand Project Greenlight. There are more people, more businesses that want to be a part of it in 2018, and as a result, they're going to have to hire more people to staff the command center. So I did recall him saying that, but go ahead.
Okay. Now, the other thing is that now, the gentleman that called in, he has a right to his opinion, which we all do. But I don't know if he ever noticed that when he's driving, there are cameras already out there watching you. Have you ever looked up and saw the cameras where the intersections are at?
There are cameras at the intersections. There are cameras along the freeway.
In your neighbor,
there's cameras. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also, just like, used to be a time if you went to Google Earth, you could put somebody's address in, and then Google Earth would show you, where they live. But now, if you put somebody's address in, it automatically shows you their home.
Yeah.
Without you even, going to another, way of, let's put it like this, they're watching us anyway. And, and what bothers me is that some of the crime that's done on the streets, MDOT has cameras. And I used to always call the police department and ask them, why don't they look at those cameras? And maybe they can find some of these criminals who go on the freeway.
Well, not only that, Chief Craig did mention that they are looking at integrating facial recognition software on Project Greenlight, so they'll be able to determine who that person is as they're watching, instead of doing it after the fact. They'll be able to recognize people in real time. Now, that to me, I know we're living in a different age, but I've always been concerned about facial recognition software being used in real time, and I'm not necessarily bothered by it at Project Greenlight, but when private businesses have access to facial recognition software. As I was giving that example earlier about you going into, say, CVS or Rite Aid or Macy's, excuse me, and you're standing there getting ready to cash out, they know exactly who you are simply by looking at the camera. The camera has already identified you as Belinda or me as Cliff Woodards, and they instantly know where I am, who I am. It can't, in addition to it being used to prevent crime, the ability for people to track you in real time as you go from place to place, not just as a person, but knowing where this person is at all times, that's somewhat disconcerting to me.
Well, you know, our cell phone also lets people know where you're at, too. But, you know, that's what the casino uses, is that facial thing. When people sign out of the casino and say they're not coming back anymore, that's how they can pick you up and know you were in the casino. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah. Oh, they have that facial thing. Oh, yes, they do.
So I'm assuming that the database has a list of the people that have been banned from a casino, and once that system recognizes that face that has been flagged, they automatically can go and get that person from where that person is.
Right. See, that's how they know that you signed out, that you would never go back again, or you were told never to come back to the casino.
Wow.
Because they can recognize you.
I've often wondered that. How could they monitor whether a banned person is back in the casino?
Well, that they use that facial thing. Now, somebody might call and say, "Oh, it's not true," but it's true. I mean, they watch you, because I'm gonna say this example. Okay, I was in a casino once, right? And this machine, this person was playing next to me. They thought they had won, just like you see people saying they won that progressive, and they find out they didn't. But what happened to this individual, they were so happy they got these free spins until they hit the machine. So the machine was malfunctioning, but I knew it had malfunctioned. So when the security people, they came down, and they were talking to him and letting him know he didn't win. He kept putting me in the conversation. I kept telling him I don't want to talk. But he kept on, so I let him know, no, you didn't win. Okay, he didn't argue with me or anything. Okay, I left the casino, and maybe 2 or 3 days later, I came back to the casino. And while I was sitting there playing, the security people came, you know, in their suits and everything, and they let me know he was in there.
Okay.
And that they were watching me to make sure he didn't approach me. Now, this was 3 days later.
Yep. So you're right. They more than likely do have that facial recognition software.
Right.
Belinda, thank you so much. I appreciate you this afternoon.
And listen, and thank you for reminding me.
All right. You have a great rest of the day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. 313-365-7379 if you want to give us a call. We're talking about Project Greenlight. What are your thoughts about its use in the city of Detroit? Do you think that, excuse me, I've got a little bug stuck in my throat. Do you think that a cost of upwards of $5,000 is too much for a business? And if you are running a business that sells liquor, alcohol for retail sale, that you are in essence required to have Project Greenlight, or else you have to close early. City Council is thinking about mandating Project Greenlight in the city of Detroit. That $5,000 upfront expense, some have said, is prohibitive. Others have said they would like to have Project Greenlight, but they can't afford the cost. There's another upwards of $150 a month to have the video data stored in the cloud through Comcast. And the Detroit Police, through Chief Craig, has said that it has been instrumental in reducing carjackings in the city of Detroit, that a number of crimes have been reduced as a result of Project Greenlight going in. Do you think that that's true? Do you think it's a good idea? There are others who feel that Project Greenlight is really a tool that is used after the fact rather than before the fact. It enables the police to actually see who committed the crime as opposed to catching the people while they are committing the crime in real time. Good afternoon. You're on the air. It's your turn with Cliff Woodards.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Okay, fair to medium.
Good. What's on your mind?
If they require green light for businesses across the city will just be, you look from the plane, a bunch of flashing green lights. It would be a scary scene. Everybody wants the elimination of crime. Nobody wants to be a victim.
Mm-hmm.
But the trade-off, I don't think it's worth it, because I think people who do not commit crimes become victimized because of surveillance.
Well, wait. Explain that one though. How do you think? Why do you believe that people who patronize the businesses are victimized because of surveillance?
Because of the invasion of privacy. That invading someone's privacy is criminal.
Well. Now you're talking to a criminal lawyer. Now,
Yeah.
the from a pure legal standpoint, and I'm not trying to argue with you for argument's sake, but from a pure legal standpoint, none of us has an expectation of privacy if we're out in public.
I understand that.
Okay.
I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But like you mentioned before, real-time surveillance, you're on somebody's screen like a dot traveling around the city when you enter a store. Oh, there's Mr. Woodward,
Mm-hmm.
the computer somewhere internally says. That kind of invasion of privacy to me is criminal. It's one of those guys from back in the day, so-called founding fathers. You know that statement he made that something about we don't deserve liberty if we succumb to I forget what it's. What
Let me
it's
see if
about.
I can find
I
it
think-
while you're talking. Keep going.
Yeah, it's the chief says that crime is down because of green light, but there's still a lot of crime. I read something the other day. They said for a city of 700,000. Did I hear it on your show or somebody's show?
Mhm.
I read it that Detroit is 3 times more dangerous than it was back in the 80s.
Well, I know that. Go ahead.
When you consider our population today.
Mm-hmm. I think I may have found. He who sacrifices freedom for security deserves neither.
There you go.
That's Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin, old Ben.
People willing.
Owner, but
People willing to trade their freedom for temporary security deserve neither and will lose both. That's pretty
that's
deep.
where we are, attorney.
That's pretty deep. Let me read that again. He who sacrifices freedom for security deserves neither. People willing to trade their freedom for temporary security deserve neither and will lose both. If we restrict, and let me see if I can get to the last part of that. I like that.
Yeah, it's where we are.
I might have to write about that on Facebook because I'm glad you called in and brought that up because that is yeah.
Thanks for bringing this up. I don't know. And facial recognition. They instituted that a long time ago. Green dots on somebody's big monitor all over the place. And, let's see where it goes.
All right. Thanks so much for the call.
I think it'll get stopped is a power grid malfunction. Nobody wants that either because then we can't get lights and gas. But
all right. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. 313 365-7379. I just had a caller call in on the line. Give me a call back right now. The lines are open. I couldn't get to you in time. I wanted to let the last caller finish his thought, but I do want to hear your call. So please give me a call back right now. The line is open so I can take your call. Whoever it was had a 772 number. So feel free to give me a call right back, and I want to hear what your thoughts are with respect to that. But that quote was really deep. People who sacrifice freedom for security deserve neither and will lose both. Said by Benjamin Franklin well over 200 years ago. And if you think in terms of Project Greenlight and all of the other surveillance that's going on, not just in Detroit, but across the country and around the world, are we really free? Or do we have a faux or a false sense of security? Are you a fan of Project Greenlight? Why or why not? Do you think that it would be better to have physical police on the ground doing more patrolling as opposed to having cameras watch crime and then easily catch the criminals after they have committed those crimes? 313-365-7379 is the number. Give me a call and let me know what your thoughts are about Project Greenlight. Good afternoon. You're on the air. It's your turn with Cliff Woodward. Thanks for calling back.
Hey, we haven't forgotten about the criminals now.
What do you mean?
The hackers.
Mm-hmm.
Guys who hack into these new technological systems. It's almost as if the hackers, they're onto the new things the same day it is brought out. I mean, if I wanted to kill you, you understand, I wouldn't have no problem hacking into that system to find out exactly where you are at any given time of the day. So let's not forget about that, too. Thanks for taking my call.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate hearing from you as well this evening or afternoon. I'm still used to that evening thing. I got to get that out of my head. You're watching Your Turn with Cliff Woodward here at Comcast 91, Channel 33. You can catch us on Roku or download the WHPR app now to any of your cell phones, tablets, or other mobile devices. I want to hear from you. I think that might have been Theo Broughton who was calling in just a few seconds ago. Give me a call back. I want to hear from you as well. 313-365-7379 is the number. We're talking about Project Greenlight in the city of Detroit. Are you a fan or not? Do you think it has been a deterrent to crime, or do you think it's an excellent resource to catch people who did it? 313-365-7379. I think this is her now. Good afternoon. You're on the air. It's your turn with Cliff Woodwards.
Oh, wonderful.
I knew it was you.
2018.
Welcome to 2018 yourself, Theo. It's so good to talk to you. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good, good. I trust all has been well with you and yours.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And I know you still fighting the good fight for the community out there.
Oh, yes, got to.
So what's on your mind today?
Well, I wanted to talk about this green light issue.
Sure.
The Hood Research, we have a think tank, and we have been talking about it as well. It appears that administrations, plural, are moving to put as much of the financial burden on the taxpayers as they can. Mm-hmm. Now, as it relates to the green light in the city of Detroit, same thing. $5,000 is a burden on small businesses. And as someone already said, it may have been you, that the police come after the fact. But the more businesses that install the green light, the fewer police officers the administration wants to hire. They will say, well, the green light is working so well, we don't have to hire more police officers. And I can tell you, there's one location, 7 Mile in Ferguson. It's a gas station.
That Marathon gas station. I know it well.
Yep, a family friend, a young lady, went in there to, put gas in her car. Of course, she gets out, and she's in the process of putting gas in her car. 3 guys come up to her. This is daytime, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And they hit her. One hits her in the head. Second one knocks her on the ground, and the third one kicks her a couple of times. And then they get in her car and drive it away.
there were people in the gas station who, I guess they stood there in shock or scared, or sometimes I wonder if it's for entertainment because of the negative uh, views that we see on TV and in the movies these days.
Hmm.
That's what happened to her. And there's some others who have had
Similar
bad
experiences.
things, happen as they went into the same location. They have a green light, okay? And I'm sure there are other locations with green lights who've had similar experiences. We need more officers in the department.
I don't know who owns that gas station at 7 Mile and Ferguson. I was actually surprised that you told me they have a green light now, because I have no proof of this. So let me be clear before I say what I say. I have always thought that the owners of that gas station were complicit in the activities of those guys that hang out at that gas station. That gas station has always been notorious for drug-related crime. It has always allowed young men to stand there and loiter all day long.
So drugs and carjacking,
Right.
apparently.
Right. So I don't know. I hope that gas station has gotten better, but that is probably one of the last gas stations. My car will be sputtering down the street on fumes,
And you won't go in there.
and I will not go to that gas station at noon in broad daylight.
Right.
No.
This was daytime that it happened to her. And it was recent, too.
Hmm.
So it has been going on for quite a number of years. And what you have just shared is probably true in what's going on there. But that says to me that people need to go to the police commission meeting and encourage the chief goes sometime. But they need to be encouraged to do a, what would you call it, sting operation, monitoring operation or something, because it's just, it's unconscionable what happens there. It really is.
Hmm.
So,
I understand. So tell me what's coming up with Hood Research in the next few weeks. Tell us what's going on with your organization.
well, our next meeting will be the second Saturday of February, which I believe is the 10th of February, 2 o'clock, 2 to 6. We will be at the Dabo Center, which is on Grand River on the corner of Wyoming.
Okay.
And we are inviting candidates who are campaigning for the gubernatorial race, and also the ones who are running for the other races, congressional, etc. And you have an opportunity to come and ask your own question.
And what time is the meeting?
2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
I guess that means I might have to stop on by then, huh?
Certainly.
You got any room for judicial candidates?
We most certainly do.
All right. We'll look to see you then, Theo, okay?
All righty.
All right. You take care. Have a great afternoon.
Okay.
Bye-bye. You're listening and watching Your Turn with Cliff Woodards right here at WHPR TV 33. We've got about 3 minutes left if you want to give us a call about your thoughts about Project Greenlight. Do you think it's been a success in the city of Detroit, or are you in favor of more police officers on the ground in the cars patrolling the areas trying to prevent crime before it happens? 313-365-7379 is the number. Let us hear from you in these remaining 180 seconds or so that we have on the air. I'd really like to hear what you think about Project Greenlight. The city of Detroit, Chief Craig has said it's been an overwhelming success in reducing crime, especially in those areas and those stores where it has been installed. What do you think? I think we've got time for one more call. Good afternoon. You're on the air. It's your turn with Cliff Woodards. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't think that crime is down in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
The police know where the high crime areas is. They get paid. Why don't they ride and patrol the area? Then you don't have to call them.
Well, the problem, too, is, and this is true, Detroit does not have anywhere near the number of officers that it used to. And I saw something in the paper the other day about the number of patrol cars in each precinct. It's a relatively low number. It was like somewhere between 2 and 4 cars patrolling each precinct, and that's really low. Detroit has been trying with limited success to hire new police officers, but we still need probably double the number of officers that we have on the street right now.
How many they got patrolling downtown?
I can't give you a number on that right now.
But they want white people to feel safe when they come downtown.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I do.
Deal with the neighborhood.
I understand. Thank you so much. I've got to get on out of here. I appreciate hearing your thoughts and views. Look forward to talking to you next week, my friend.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. You have been watching, as always, Your Turn with Cliff Woodwards right here. We are on every Saturday from 1 until 2. I appreciated each and every one of your calls, because without your calls, comments, suggestions, opinions, thoughts, and even criticism, it wouldn't be Your Turn with Cliff Woodwards. I'll see you back here next Saturday, same time, 1 o'clock. As always, as my grandmother used to say, if the good Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. I want to thank R.J. Watkins Jr. for his outstanding work producing this show each and every Saturday. I want to give him a big shout out, as well as to R.J. Watkins Sr., who was responsible for allowing me to sit right here in this chair. You guys have a wonderful rest of the weekend and make it a great week. See you next Saturday.